The Montreal Canadiens far surpassed what they were expected to do this season. Instead of being in the mix, they're mixing it up in the playoffs. And after watching tonight's game, I don't think that these are bonus games anymore. I think this is a bonus series. Let's talk about it.
The worst picture of all time.
What Montreal has done this season is nothing short but miraculous. I mean, they started this year off horrible. They were what? They were 31st in the league, or maybe 30th? I mean, they had a 2% chance of making it to the playoffs. Some people buy milk at a higher percent than that. Analysts were saying, yeah, maybe they're going to get an extra 4 games out of the playoffs. Maybe they'll steal one. Maybe Montembeault will steal one for them and they'll get 5 games. After watching this game, man, I don't know. Capitals might be lucky to make it to 6 games. But let's get this out of the way. The refereeing, the officiating, needs to tighten up, man. These refs should get fines for how bad they're calling these games. I'm not going to stop in my recap and tell you everything that happened. I mean, there's a lot. But just for example, Gallagher got cross-checked in the face. 5-minute major. Just kidding. No call.
A stick. Oh, man, that's pretty high off of the...
Lane Hudson gets punched in the face, and somehow we end up on the penalty kill. Nick Suzuki gets mugged after a play, and nothing happens. And this might be the most embarrassing one because it's so obvious. Ivan Demidov gets rocked by, it's Ryan Leonard, right? Ryan Leonard.
Kind of rescues himself, and then this here is a penalty. I do not know.
Like, this is embarrassing. Did not have puck possession. Just, you know, you could go around just slamming people. This is why I think Hockey Junkie has it right. Arbor Jack guy needs to make an appearance. I mean, I was also from that opinion, but Hockey Junkie's like shouting it from the rooftops. There's something I'd like to shout from the rooftops. We just made it to 12,000 subscribers. We're already so close to 13,000 subscribers. Please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of this community. Community members, don't worry about it. Just hit that like button. Share a comment down below. Tell me how your weekend went. So we start where we always start. And exciting news, they've created a new template for la formation de départ, our starting lineup. So, nos attaquants, our forwards, we have Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Laine, Newhook, Demidov, Heineman, Evans, Armia. Nos défenseurs, our defensemen, Matheson, Carrier, Gouli, and Hudson, Struble, and Savard. And finally, notre gardien de but, our goalie, is Montembeault, Samuel Montembeault in the net. So let's drop the puck. Dvorak's going to win it. And Connor McMichael testing Montembeault early. Yeah, the Washington Capitals came out with some amount of energy initially. Tom Wilson, who a lot of individuals said was going to be a big problem for the Canadiens, checks Gouli behind the net. And then we see a big flurry in front of Montembeault, but the Habs are able to clear it. So the Washington Capitals are certainly putting on the pressure early. But Radish takes a slashing penalty on Laine. And on the power play, the Habs look okay. There's no joy, but Suzuki has a good opportunity to strike first. And then we see the patented Hudson to Laine, but that doesn't work either. So they end that power play with, I think, like 3 or 4 shots on goal. It's something. They set up well in the zone. But now, here is where the ice gets tilted a little bit in the favor of the Capitals. There's a little bit of a scrum in front of the Canadiens net. Gouli's going to head to the box. You know what? I don't even know why they sent him to the box. They were very hypocritical with their choice of penalties tonight. Gouli goes to the box for roughing on Ryan Leonard. Andrew Mangiapane goes to the box for roughing on Newhook, and Newhook takes the extra minor for roughing against Mangiapane. Very strange. This is where Mangiapane punched Lane Hudson in the face. So to me, this, okay, call some penalties to calm down the action on the ice, but make it a 4-on-4 or something. I don't know. Make it offsetting penalties. On the power play, Carlson skates backwards into Josh Anderson's path. Carlson's looking for a penalty, saying that this should be tripping, but no. And the fans are losing their minds. It seems like I'm taking crazy pills. Just as that power play is about to end, the illegitimate power play, Alexander Ovechkin is able to make it onto the ice and get into where he gets all of his goals. And he puts a muffin past Montembeault here.
For Wilson, back to Ovechkin, score!
It's unfortunate, but those goals count too. Now Taylor Radish and Slavkovsky take offsetting penalties. It's 4-on-4 time. Suzuki with an incredible chance to put it past Thompson. He goes top corner with it, but Thompson gets his elbow on the puck. Period 1 comes to an end. It's 1-0 for Washington, 14-13 for shots. I would say that the Canadiens had more quality opportunities this period, but Washington had one more shot. The second period starts, and Beauvillier is going to make it 2-0.
Back for Ovechkin. His shot.
The thing about this is it looks pretty obvious that this is a high stick that he knocks down the puck to bang it in. I kind of understand Martin St. Louis' hesitation because these refs do seem like they don't know what they're doing, and it always seems to go bad for St. Louis in the past. But I don't know. They need better intel here because this really appears to be a high stick. Speaking of high sticks, Dowd embellishes getting hit in the face, which he does not, by Patrick Laine here. The ref's going to call it anyway. Capitals go on the power play, but they don't get anything out of it. We then see Hudson give Gallagher a gift, but Gallagher can't handle the puck. That's what I'm going to give you for the second period. 2-0 for the Caps. Shots were 21-22 in favor of the Caps. So it was still a very close game, it felt. The only difference is Washington got 2 illegitimate goals. The third period starts. Kind of a scary moment here, a scramble in front of Montembeault. Nothing happens, but this is probably one of the more scarier opportunities that the Washington Capitals had. We then see Caulfield nearly complete the wraparound. Very, very close. All this had to do was take a tiny bounce and it would have done the trick. Then we see Demidov breaking in, put a shot off the goalpost, and Thompson sends the net off the moorings. I think this is the second time he's done this game. I don't know what it takes for them to call a penalty on that, but it's unfortunate because the second line was actually setting up in the zone here. This is where Demidov gets checked, having no possession of the puck.
Kind of rescues himself, and then this here is a penalty. I do not know how.
A blatant interference. This should have been called, but was not. But then we see Dubois swing a stick around, trip Carrier. Finally, Montreal goes on a power play, and they're going to make it hurt.
To Nick Suzuki. Pressured, but he got it back for Hudson. Over to Laine. Another shot off the skate. Loose in front, scores! Hold.
That's Caulfield with his first of the playoffs. Laine sends the puck in front. The puck is loose, and Caulfield is able to find it and bang it home. So that's giving the Habs a little bit of energy. And this was funny. Josh Anderson and Tom Wilson have a little bit of history, right? You might have seen in the intro video, Josh Anderson feeding Tom Wilson some medicine. Wilson is caught not looking where he's going. He's going to bump into Anderson, but Anderson pushes him to the ice. I don't know if Wilson wanted to get a penalty out of this, but I just thought it was funny. Now the Washington Capitals, they're having a hard time out there. Montreal is keeping the puck in their zone quite a bit, and the Capitals seem to be running out of steam. That is when Nick Suzuki clutches up.
Caulfield to Hudson, hands it off, Carrier, shot kicked out, rebound, wide open net, score!
Huge sequence here, so much going on. The Habs are just absolutely having their way with the Washington Capitals, who look ready for bed, all tied up at 2. I'm frustrated. The 2 Capitals goals, I feel like shouldn't have happened. That's hockey, baby. And time is starting to wind down. Then I feel bad. Alexiev takes a bad one right to the face. It was a Jake Evans follow through. You could tell Evans felt bad about this. I hope he's all right. I can't remember if they said he returned. They had to go to review here to make sure that this wasn't a legit high sticking call and that it was just a follow through. They confirmed that immediately. And for some reason, the Washington Capitals fans are livid.
Yeah, they were quick on that review.
I feel that maybe the Washington Capitals fans aren't maybe the best educated hockey fans. I'm sorry if there's Washington Capitals fans here watching this and you are a really well educated hockey fan, but you know, the rest of your group kind of makes you look bad, you know? No offense. I really don't mean offense by that. So it's winding down now. It's looking like it's going to be overtime, but Montreal is really putting the Capitals on their toes. They're trying to hold on. It's almost bedtime. Take your pills and go to bed. But the Habs can't finish it in regulation. We're going to overtime. And I was feeling pretty confident. I was feeling really confident. I was a little bit upset to find out that there is a longer break between the third period and overtime. I felt like the Caps were probably getting their legs back. And you definitely could tell that they had more pep in their step than at the end of the third period, certainly. But this game is going to end, and it's not a happy ending.
Off the draw, right in the slot.
Alexander Ovechkin with his second of the game. I can't believe it. With like the 13 or 14 minutes that he plays in this hockey game, he's able to get 2 goals and 1 assist. I mean, he's out there doing things, you know. He might not play very much, and when he does play, he takes 1 shot at it and then heads back to the bench. But there's no debate. He's doing stuff. Hudson should have tied up Ovechkin. That's besides the fact. It was lucky that the puck even got in the front in the first place. It went off a bunch of skates. Just another lucky goal. 3 goals in this game that were not, you know, particularly good goals from the Capitals. So with all that being said, I'm still extremely confident with the Canadiens' odds here. Way more confident than before this game. What are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comments. It's getting really late here. I'd like to talk more about my impressions of this game. Maybe I'll do a members only video tomorrow. That's a promotion to become a member. You can become a member, join. I really appreciate it if you are a member. There's a bunch of perks to becoming a member, and it helps support me and everything that I do on this channel. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Like the video, helps me out with search results or something. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I don't know why you wouldn't be subscribed. Please subscribe. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.